Hello, Mark Red Larson here for the Dreamcatcher podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, my guest is Brett Courtier and David Reynolds. Welcome, and Liz. You can't forget Liz. Welcome to the Dreamcatcher podcast. So, how is everybody doing today?
Good.
Probably a loaded question.
Doing well. I'm doing well.
Awesome. So, Brett and Liz, where are you guys located at?
Springfield, Missouri.
I like Springfield. Is that where you guys, is that the area you grew up in, or is that your hometown?
You can go first.
No, we grew up in Nebraska. I grew up in Omaha.
Nice. Nebraska's good. That's where I'm at right now. So, except I'm in
Go
central
Huskers.
Nebraska. So,
Yes.
that's awesome. So, Dave, I know you're in Hastings because I see you almost daily.
Yes, sir.
So, David, where did you, Hastings is your hometown, or where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Omaha as well. I just moved to Hastings.
Okay, awesome. So that I have to ask. So Brett and David, how did you guys meet? What's the backstory there?
I'll let you take that, Brett.
David?
What's that?
You can take that,
David,
Brett,
let
if
me
you like.
run with this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dave, you want to take that?
I
What
can't
do
hear
you-
nothing.
Either one. Brett, if you want to take it, that's good too.
Can't hear. Okay. Well, everybody's made mistakes, you know.
Sure.
Everyone knows David's story. People that know me know my story. We met in a not so good time. We were incarcerated together, and we started walking the yard. And I was kind of an odd one because I was someone that had a Wall Street Journal newspaper publication. And David and I met a lot on religion, and we just started talking business. We probably talked more business walking laps than I'd assume almost anybody there. So we just kind of grew from there. We've been friends for years and years since. Watched each other grow.
So, were you located in Nebraska? Where were you guys incarcerated at?
Yes, Nebraska.
Nebraska,
I
okay.
forgot to come back to me. I'm from Nebraska as well.
Oh, really? Okay. Are you Omaha then?
Bellevue, but yes.
No, okay. Bellevue, yes. I like that area. So definitely growing, that's for sure too. So okay, you guys have had this, I don't know, epiphany or a thing that you are in the process of doing. Is this something that you had talked about when you were incarcerated? Or tell the audience a little bit about what's your idea and what you guys have in the works.
Absolutely. We are the three partners of Black Sheep Revenue Architects. It's kind of evolved onto the point we are live now. We are a digital marketing agency.
Okay.
Definitely not the venture we were talking about when back in the day. We've kind of gone from a lot of things. I was getting the Wall Street Journal because I was big into investment and I had a lot of time to learn. And like I said, we spent a lot of time talking about the word, the religion. And our business was a lot of investment and just, personal growth type stuff that we'd spend time together talking about.
Cool. No, that's very cool. So I have to, I don't know how long you guys were incarcerated. Was this something that just came to you guys or it just kind of grew? It's like, look, that sounds like a good idea, or did it evolve?
It definitely evolved. It was kind of a grassroots idea that I'd kind of picked up, and I'd actually started out. Almost want to say pre-digital marketing. It wasn't the full-on services, and then I started talking with David, bouncing ideas back and forth, and then it just grew to the point that it just made more sense to do the full-on digital marketing. And at that point, we decided to bring on everybody as partners. So my wife Liz and David helped immensely before it even came to the point of bringing them on. It just made sense to do it at that point with the effort they were putting in as well. So
okay. So the name Black Sheep, was that a name that you just recently came up with, or one that you had already decided back then?
No, this is just one that I just decided on. I I can't really think of the name. I mean, everyone can say the reason why. The black sheep is what a black sheep is, and this something doesn't follow the herd, kind of stands alone. And it was a matter of taking something with a negative perception and put a good spin on it. Our push is leave the herd. So,
amen. That sounds great. So with what you guys are coming up with, what's the dream? What do you guys want to? What is like in 5 years? Would you like to see this be like? What you guys are giving birth to right now?
Oh, absolutely. 1 year, 5 year, month. We got it all laid out on where
Awesome.
we want to be, where we want to be, and definitely the financial success is a big thing, but it's not the only thing. David does a lot of work as well, reaching out, and we both have been built on opportunity, and that's kind of the whole purpose of what we're trying to do. And I say that in the fact that we're looking our training, our staff that we're looking at bringing on. We're not even really. We don't want sales reps, and we don't want experienced people. We want to take people that we can offer them a change in lifestyle and an ability to step and grow and mature, just like we were able to do.
I love that. That is, I really like that. That is so cool. I mean, why now? What brought this about right now? That's coming to fruition right now? Just time, or?
It's just timing. I think kind of the pushes. I kind of started wanting to do my own thing because I got in a position with an employer that I knew that the company in and of itself was a sinking ship.
Oh.
And I really didn't want to go back out on the job market again. So I was
I'm
a little
with you.
selfish.
Yeah. No. So what have you been doing, Brett? I mean, as a professional or a job before this?
Well, interestingly enough, I've done a lot of sales and marketing. I was doing marketing back in the day when the direct mail was the stuff to do.
Okay.
But I've also been doing a lot of blue collar. I've done a lot of cattle work.
Really? That's interesting.
Including in Nebraska, and I enjoyed that a lot.
Makes sense.
I'm sorry?
That makes sense. In Nebraska, yeah.
Yeah, I worked for the only feedlot that I know that their storefront has a meat vending machine.
Meat vending machine? Now that's a new one for me. So how does that work?
It's just like the sandwich machines that you see in the break rooms and the offices, and they just put steaks and ground beef in and rotate them out. Okay,
I kind of like that idea. I mean, I think that's pretty cool, and that sounds like a Nebraska thing. Definitely, they have one on every street corner there. No, so how long have you been down in Missouri, Brett?
We've been down for about 2.5 years.
Okay. So was that because of this, or what took you down to Springfield?
We came down to Missouri just kind of as a new start. We'd actually came down to Missouri to have an opportunity to buy some land, but one of my many major medical episodes got in the way of that when I got life flighted to Kansas City.
Oh, wow. A pretty serious one then, too.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Well, hopefully you're past all that.
Oh, yes. And that was actually one of the smaller health issues that we've been able to put behind us. So,
well, I hope so, because like the old saying, health is wealth. So, and it very much is. So, or maybe you could get Dave to work. Dave could probably come up with a plan to have you get to work out. He'll be your trainer.
Yeah.
Because Dave is at the. I don't know how many hours you spend at the Y, but I know you're there quite a bit. So.
Yes, it's the Y has become a big part of my life. So.
Yeah, and it's awesome because I wouldn't have probably met you ever if it hadn't been at the Y. So, So, okay, you're doing this. I have to ask, since this is a Dreamcatcher podcast, I'll start with you, Dave. What were your dreams when you were growing up as a child? I always ask because most people don't get those dreams.
Dreams coming up. Honestly, I've gone through, like I spoke when I was on the podcast. I've gone through the pendulum of life, but my dream has always been to help. Whether it was at one point I wanted to be an NBA player so I can make a lot of money to help out my hometown, or whether it
Awesome.
was I wanted to be an architect so I can build houses to help the
Oh
homeless.
wow.
Um, or be a physical therapist so I can help athletes who mess up their
Cool.
leg. Like, it's always been something to help, and so now I'm in a position here, and I'm not only able to help out small businesses with the services that we offer, but through this, there will be lives that we'll be able to impact by giving them an opportunity to do something that'll give them a livable wage.
Cool. No, I love that. So Brett, when you were growing up, what were your dreams when you were a kid?
Ooh, interestingly enough, I would say the one that kind of sticks me with the most is I really kind of wanted to be a police officer. And I
Okay,
grew up in a
cool.
real small town over in Iowa most of my life. I mean, I was born in Germany, but most of my life in Iowa, Nebraska.
Okay.
And
Well,
it
I was
just,
good too. I definitely like that. So how about you, Liz? What were your dreams growing up?
I wanted to be a military police.
Wow. So you guys both kind of went towards the police thing there. So that's interesting. I love that. I love hearing what people when they were growing up, what they, you know, it is very much. So for the audience, what you guys are starting here, what exactly are you starting here?
you broke
Is
up.
it Brett or Dave? So what you guys are starting right now? What is exactly the services you guys are going to provide to local people, maybe worldwide? I'm not sure on that. But what is it
Okay,
that your
what kind of
service is going to
services?
be?
Absolutely. And we are reaching nationwide because a lot of our
Okay.
essence is to uh, do certain things. Page one of SEO with, sorry, uh, our main push is websites. We build
Okay.
quality converting websites, not just business cards, but it's to have 24/7 sales reps. Websites that turn results. We
Okay.
go all the way into every area. The next big bread and butter would be it's actually pay per results SEO.
Okay. That's
And that
interesting.
is actually where they don't pay anything until they're on page one of the local SEO.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And we do
Don't they give them?
everything from there. I mean, website accessibility, the Google advertising. We're doing some streaming service ads, Facebook marketing, anything.
Okay.
And we're not saying no to anything, but those tend to be the bulk of what we're addressing.
Okay.
But if somebody asks, especially a client, can you do this? Yes, we will get it done, or we will get it streamlined into a professional that has the experience to get it done the way they want it.
Cool. I like that. That's whatever it takes to get there, even if it isn't with you guys. I think that's very professional. I love that. So, um, how do people find you?
Yeah, we're on Facebook, and we do have a website, which is blacksheeprevenue.com.
Okay.
I believe we're almost on Instagram.
Okay. Cool.
David, just like me, we're both working a lot of hours on top of trying to run it. So Instagram was kind of a new run. So
Yes.
bear with us on that. We'll get there.
You
So,
will.
so
It's a
we are
journey.
fine tuning
Yeah.
the Instagram page. I just want to make
We
sure
do have
all our
we've got our
information.
we got our phone numbers in place and emails and all the, but all
yeah.
that's available on the websites, of course.
Yeah. No, there's so much. I mean, are you concentrating on one thing? Is it going to be Instagram then, or just kind of a little bit on every one of them?
I'll let
I
David handles the socials.
Okay.
Yes. So I'd say a little bit of everything. I know we were discussing about even getting on X, formerly known on Twitter.
Right.
I think it's important for the public to have awareness, and so awareness comes through all different platforms. So
Right.
I feel like we should be on Facebook, Instagram, and X at the same time. Yes, maybe using different medium to get our message across. but I think we offer useful and necessary services, so we'll use whatever it takes to get that out there.
Okay. So how long have you been working on this journey? This is what you're doing right now.
Start to finish, I think we've been plugging 8 months total.
Okay, so you've
But
relatively
again, unfortunately, I'm one of those people that I don't get sick little, so this is in between a lot of medical stuff. But that's behind me. So, but
Yes,
yeah, 8
you're
months,
gonna
and it
stay
was
well.
finally it's time to do this and quit planning. So we didn't hit that analysis paralysis stage.
Yeah, and that's
Yes.
easy to because that's the person can definitely in today's world, especially, can definitely get there, get stuck. So, so are you guys? I mean, I don't know if I've asked Dave this. Would you guys do like a podcast, or do you do like Facebook Lives and stuff like that?
We have started a podcast.
Okay.
Digital marketing is best in niche, and we have different reps handling different things, different within the sales. And I'm, with my experience, I'm doing a podcast called No BS Marketing for the blue collar trades.
Cool. That's cool. So
Getting there. I've only had 2 of them up, so.
Well, that's a start. And it's a lot more than a lot of people do. So, yeah, I mean, and podcasting is evolving like everything else too. I mean, it's just especially compared to what it started when I was doing this 4 years ago. It's definitely a lot more video. That is for sure. Because and then I look back to the very first ones I did. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's a good thing that didn't stop me.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the first one I was like, you never like the sound of your own voice until you never get used to that part. But
yeah, no, it is. I mean, it's like I sound like that, but it's cool, and podcasting is awesome. And I've told Dave, I think everybody should have a podcast. It's a good way to reach the world at a relatively low entry point. So, so do you guys use like Riverside then, or what software do you use to record with?
I actually record everything separate, and I piece it together in an editing software, and then I post it as a whole. So
whatever works
we're
for
getting
you.
there.
I mean, no, there's times as sometimes I'd like to throw Riverside out. Well, for one thing, Riverside is trying to be the leader. They're doing way too much AI. They're really putting a lot of that stuff in there that I don't think they have thoroughly tested out. I mean, StreamYard's pretty good too. But so what else? I mean, like, looking at the future for what you guys are doing, what's that thing you're shooting for? That thing you would really like to see, in 10 years, or I mean, I'm sure you've thought that far, or if not further in advance.
Well, David has his. I can say for as far as myself and my wife, we spoke. Of course, with the economy ever challenging, financial freedom obviously is objective. The other thing that I know is I want to be able to reach out as well. I want to have the resources to be able to assist people where I've been in their spots. People that have either different people that have made mistakes and are trying to get past them and grow, as well as I went through stage 4 cancer.
Oh wow!
And that is a financial hit on top of the stress. And I already told my wife, especially, I said that at the very least on my anniversary, I said the anniversary of my completion, we plan on going out with as much money as we're able to financially. And just going to the treatment facilities and just randomly just going up to people saying, I've been there, here you go. And walk away.
That, Brett. I mean, that is, my wife's had cancer a couple times, not stage 4. Last time was stage 3B colon cancer, but that will make world of difference for those people. So how long have you been cured from cancer, or your cancer's been gone? Is that recently, or is that
remission for 4 years?
Awesome.
Just really at the beginning of last month. So
congratulations. No, like my wife, cancer gives clarity. You really realize what is important and what's not important. That's for sure.
Quickly.
So and so far, and I hope, but knock on simulated wood, I've never had cancer, but or when you get that, that Cheryl, my wife, and we were getting ready to go on a trip, and we had physicals, and thankfully we never did get the trip done, but probably saved her life because it pretty much was almost everywhere in her body. So, and she's way tougher than I am. So,
Yeah.
so she probably kicked my butt easily on that. So, but so will you do anything to promote? I mean, what you were talking about, helping people out because it is so expensive to get the treatments and stuff. But would you ever start like a foundation to support people that have gone through that? Or is that something that is in the thoughts?
I think as far as the cancer and stuff like that, my wife and I have spoken, and foundations and stuff get buried, and there's cost, and there's I want zero attention for it. I want, like I said, I literally want to be able to go up and just explain, I've been there, I've recovered, you can too.
Yeah.
Put something in their lap and walk away and never be heard of again. Have them, who's that? If you put a foundation, you got a name behind it. And they do great foundations, do phenomenal things, but I just don't think that's the direction I'd want to go.
So would you guys, I can see both of you. Do you guys speak on stage? Or would you speak on stage? For not even dealing specifically like with cancer, with what you're doing, or do you speak in front of people?
I have a lot of years of sales and sales management experience on my side.
Okay, so you definitely.
Yeah, I'd never gotten up and talked on stages and presented and stuff. I've really been entertaining that idea lately. But
okay, that's cool. How about you, Dave? Would you do that? I could see you doing that.
I think if the attention went to the right place, of course I would, because it just couldn't be about me. It would have to be about the message, because the goal is to inspire folks who are black sheep. Who like Brett said, who I've been in their shoes. And so being able to, whether it's offer them a position, offer them a hand up, or say a word that might be able to give them some level of inspiration at some point, to me, that's what it's about. It was never about.
No, I agree. So do you guys have any, I can see you guys are so entrepreneurial. Get this really going up. And what's the next business? I could see you guys having I could see you having numerous businesses.
So, I'm waiting for David. I know on my end, I definitely always looking for something. I've worked for people very recently that'll put all their eggs out at once, and they'll chase too many of them.
Right.
So I am 100% with you. Multiple sources of revenue, multiple businesses, multiple investments is the way to go. But I have seen it just destroy businesses where I don't want to even go down that road until we're ready to.
Sure. Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I've seen people chase their tail right down the drain, going from one pet project essentially to another.
Yes.
So I would have to piggyback that.
Yes.
I wouldn't. Yes, I think having other investment opportunities, obviously, we both have the desire to reach out. So obviously that would be probably the vein in which I would go, but only once this becomes, and I don't want to say a self-sustaining machine, but once this is operating on full cylinders, then maybe I'll look elsewhere. But like Brett said, that's just a dangerous, once you start looking in two places at once, things start getting fuzzy. So
that is true. So I don't know, Dave, you ever have downtime, because all I see you working all the time. So what do you guys like to do in your free time?
Enjoy life.
Awesome. Anything particular that with the clarity of cancer, but do you guys like to travel?
We like to travel. We haven't been able to because of his cancer and health issues, but Brett wants to go to the ocean, and I promise I'll get him to the ocean.
Ocean's always, I love the ocean. So any particular place you want to go with on the ocean?
I was thinking taking him to Texas is the closest one to us.
Yeah, that's definitely good down there. So Southern Tip or just anywhere along there, Corpus Christi. So,
funny little laugh on that. I don't know if you caught. I was born in Germany,
yeah, I did
which
hear
means
that.
I've
Yes.
crossed the ocean 3 times and never stepped foot in it.
Well, I mean, you gotta. That's an oversight. You got to make sure you. Oh my gosh! Now I'm a frustrated beach bum. I'm in the middle of the United States, but I love.
Yeah, I'm a water bug. Yeah, and that's the other thing I was going to add. Locally here, we happen to find a nice little river beach that we like. It's kind of private, secluded, and just a handful of people know where it's at. So that's water bugs.
And one thing, that part of Missouri is beautiful. I mean, there's a lot of Missouri that first time I was through, it's like, this isn't what I thought Missouri was going to be like. So, I lived in Columbia, Missouri for a little while. So, but, so, I mean, I have to ask, Brett, have you ever been to central Nebraska?
Oh yes, we've been
Okay.
we were central Nebraska, York area, right before we came down.
Okay. No, Nebraska gets well. Everybody hear Nebraska and they think cattle and corn and it's flat, and it's like, yeah, there's a lot more to it than that. So, but I mean, I'm out in the middle of nowhere here. I mean, I got my wildlife, and I kind of like I kind of like that. And even Hastings is a nice sized community, so probably a little bit different. I see Omaha. I don't know how they did it, but I see that he just hit 1 million people. So,
Yeah.
so all growing. How big is Springfield?
750.
Yeah, it's about the size of Grand Island.
Okay, that's a nice sized community. So, I like Missouri. I think that's very good. So well, before we end the podcast, what are some other things you guys would like to share with the audience? With how what you guys, I mean, what you want to share, with exactly what you do. How many, do you have a certain amount of clients you will work with or are working with?
We do have some clients that we're working with currently, and we're not trying to necessarily, I guess, in essence, cap out, because like I said, we're watching those numbers and we're trying to set objectives so that we can figure out when we can bring the next person on. We're in the process of bringing another rep on, just so that, again, like I said, so that they can grow with us and be able to take care of their family. And that's one thing I got to add is my big thing that I look for, and anybody, not just business, but it definitely correlates well to business, is why. If you can't tell me what your why is on anything with passion, then you're not going to have a drive to do it.
That's true. Very true. Yeah, you have to have a strong why, especially on those tough days, because you're gonna have them.
Yes. And that's why, and that's what I want to do is I want to be able to find people's why to where we can grow as well, but as well make sure that they capitalize and get their why to the fullest, the highest capability that they can.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. So Dave.
Yes.
So I mean, so Dave, what is your why?
Why?
That's one thing I know. I've never asked you the why. What's your why at the
I guess it's it's like an onion, like me. There's many layers to it, but I think the biggest why is the opportunity. Like, one of my biggest superpowers is the ability to help someone, the ability to assist. And so to be able to assist businesses, to be able to assist people, and then our employees achieve their best potential, whether it's the businesses we want to assist or the employees that we want to employ, I think being able to do that is my why. Because I do that all day at work. I sometimes feel preachy at the why.
Yeah, you do.
I try to uplift people or encourage someone or get them to see the bright side, because that's just something I naturally do. So to be able to do that in business is why. And I come from an area where, and I come from a part in life where I didn't really, like I told you before the podcast, I am living a life that I once prayed for. Mm-hmm. So I want to try to Like, that is my why. I am not going backwards. I'm going forward, and I want to
Awesome.
be this bright and shining light to everyone I come across, businesses, employees, random strangers, and that is my why.
And students, like Chris and I were talking, having you talking
Yes.
for the students yesterday.
Yes. Yes.
And I could definitely see you doing that. I definitely could. So, but, well, Brett, Liz, David, let's see, anything else you'd like to share. Thank you for joining me on the Dreamcatcher podcast. I look forward to seeing how this all evolves. It looks like it's going to evolve quickly. It sounds like it is. And yeah, we'll have to keep in touch because I love to see people getting your dreams and doing, making a difference in the world. Very, very much. Very important. Because there's a lot of differences that can be made that don't get made. And I love the fact that you guys are taking action. That's so important. And it's the thing that a lot of people never get to. They always have, a lot of times, the best of intentions. But I will let you go. It looks like we still got a little bit of upload, so I'll have you guys want to stay on after we get done. But thanks, all of you, for joining me on this Dreamcatcher podcast, and have a great rest of your day.
Hey, thank you for your time, and thank you for having us, and you have a great day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for your time.